my name is Victoria Fernandez and welcome to our channel, I Live to Inspire Mental Health. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I post videos about mental health and my experience with OCD and bipolar disorder. You can also check out this video in podcast format on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. I'm going to be talking about more like my life, what it's been like here in San Francisco, and also, like how my camera was stolen. So with that, let's get started. So as I told you guys right before, I got this camera. I was super excited. I had been working towards getting 1,000 subscribers for 2 years almost. Like it was right before the 2-year mark. And so I was extremely excited. I had been wanting a camera. It was, something that was pricey. So it was, I wanted to make sure that I was committed to doing these videos. And, it was just something I was very excited about. And during that time, I was about to graduate college. So this year, we've done a lot of stuff. I was about to graduate college, and in August, we were moving to San Francisco. So I was just very excited to have this, new thing with me. Flash forward to the day that we are moving to San Francisco, and we're at the airport, and it was like 3 a.m. when we were at the Houston airport, or we got up at 3 a.m. We didn't sleep. Of course I didn't sleep. I was so anxious about moving, about all this kind of stuff that I was, restless. And so we got to the airport. I'm exhausted. There's so much going on. We have the apartment stuff going on. Like we're gonna go to our apartment for the first time like later that day. We had to board, all that kind of stuff. And I had my camera with me. I had a blanket with me. I had my backpack with me because since we were moving, we had so many things in our hands because it didn't fit in the, with the moving company, and it wasn't like fitting on the luggage. Like everything was like to the max. So that was kind of crazy. And so I went to the bathroom. I got some food. I left stuff in my chair, and then we boarded the airplane. And 2 hours in, because it's like a 3.5-hour flight from Houston to San Francisco, 2 hours in, I'm like, where's my camera? Like we're mid-flight, and I'm like, where's my camera? I guess I was tired. I just I didn't notice that I didn't have it with me until I was in the flight. So I go to the flight attendant and I'm like, hey, like, what do I do if an item is lost? I'm like, again, freaking out. I was sad. I was worried. I had taken that like from my savings account to pay for that camera. So it was unfortunate. But then, we get out of the plane. I'm like freaking out. This was not ideal because we were going to our first apartment. Supposed to be the perfect day. And so I called the airport. They said they haven't seen a camera. I'm like, okay, well, we gotta keep trying, blah, blah, blah. I paid the airport some money. Like, they have this service. If you pay, they'll look for the stuff you've lost. Basically, they looked for it for 30 days and found nothing. So I was very sad. I was telling myself, it's just a material thing, eventually I'll be able to replace it, whatever, like, it's not the most important thing in the world. But of course I was like angry, so it was like a weird mix of like, oh my god, we're in a different town, we're starting our lives together, like all this kind of stuff, and like, oh no, I lost this thing that I had worked hard for. So that was a whole thing. And I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to film on my camera again. And it was on the phone that I had started filming like my YouTube videos with, which I don't have anymore. But basically I was like, I guess, it is what it is. The most important thing about a video is the actual content in it. But I was very disappointed, like randomly throughout the days, I would be like, how could somebody be so rude? Like they could have returned it, they could have, there's literally videos of me that I had like recorded footage of me for this channel that said my name, said what I do, like had information that could have, easily been returned to the right person. But unfortunately it wasn't. So later on, I'm like, okay, I gotta film with my phone. Literally a week later, a week after we moved, my phone just like, it fell, but like it wasn't like a hard fall or anything like that. And it was fine, I picked it up. And then like 20 minutes later, it just wasn't turning on. Like the Apple like logo kept like popping up over and over again, but like the phone was never like turning on. So then, the next day I leave it all night charging, and the next day I take it to the Apple store, and I told them, I'm like, hey, like, my phone's not turning on, like, what's going on? And then they do like the diagnosis thing, and the phone wasn't turning on. It wasn't gonna turn on at all ever again. So I was like, oh, this is great. Like, what do I do now? Like, now I don't have a phone and I don't have a camera. So that day, I made the decision of getting like the latest iPhone then to, film and make these videos because it had a good quality, and, it was just gonna be easier than getting a new camera. So I did that, and that's what I'm recording on right now. So like moving had like a lot of like ups and downs. Like I'm a huge planner, so I thought that it was all gonna be like a breeze. I thought that, I ordered things in advance, so when we got to the apartment, we had like 3-4 boxes from Target already there with towels and like all the stuff that we needed. And then like I had planned perfectly. The moving company I had called, packaged everything on time, made everything so it would arrive the week that we were getting here. That didn't happen. It arrived, I think it was 4 weeks later. It took a total of 7 weeks for the stuff to get here. So we didn't have a bed. We had to sleep in an inflatable for a month, which actually wasn't too uncomfortable. We got a pillow top, so it was fine. But we had packaged food on the delivery stuff, and it was absolutely insane. Now we have decorated our apartment. We have our first Christmas tree, which was super cool because we actually got it for $20, and it's pretty big. We went to Home Depot and like we saw this tree. It was perfect size for the size of our apartment, and they didn't have a price tag, and it was actually, they were sold out on it. It was just a display one. And I was like, can we take that one? And the lady was like, yeah, since we don't know our price, you can just take it for $20. So it was perfect. We absolutely we were super excited about that. And then, San Francisco, living here, has been an absolute dream. I think that, as you guys know, or if you don't know, I work for Google. I'm a marketer, and I was part of this program, I still am, called APMM, and I have made so many friends, we have made like a really cool group of people here, and it has been absolutely amazing. I think for my mental health, personally, it has been really great to be in a new city, to have all these new opportunities and life overall. We have done all the tourist stuff, like the Alcatraz, and then you can see some pictures here. We've taken pictures of the Golden Gate, and I have to say that living in the Bay is so amazing. It's just because you have nature everywhere. If you haven't visited, this is something that should definitely be on your bucket list, just because it's really great. I did want to update you guys. I think we are 4 subscribers away from 2,000 right now, but I'm hoping that by the time I publish this video, we've reached that milestone, and that makes me extremely happy because that just means that we're growing and it's helping people, and yeah. So thank you guys for being there. I think also when I read you guys comments all the time, and sometimes I'm going through a hard time, and I read them and it makes me feel better, and that's something that I really, really, really appreciate, because I know that I'm not alone. Just like I told you guys, you're not alone. You guys also make me feel like I'm not alone. So if you like this video, don't forget to like it, comment, subscribe, and share with somebody who you believe should watch this video. And always remember that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and a bad day does not mean a bad